Well, I guess sort of one other question I have that sort of relates to all of this. So again, we're going back to this family that can't move for 9 months, right? So I come to one of your local representatives, and will that person actually sort of help me move the sale on them?
Well, we'll be buying the house, so we will be actually doing the sale on the date that fits the family's needs, whether that's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or my favorite question is that in a perfect world, what day would be great for you guys to move? What we always see is they'd like to close a few days early before mom's move-in date, and then have a few extra days to get their things and belongings out. Like Ben said, we're not in the stuff business, but we're going to try to, when we can, we try to unlock the value of the stuff. You'd be surprised. I'll give you a crazy stat here in St. Louis. 99% of the sales, the estate sales in St. Louis, garner between $3,000 and $5,000 in revenue. $3,000 and $5,000 is what the sale creates, Steve. To put the sale on, it takes about $3,000 to $5,000 to put the sale on. So rough math, you could make anywhere from $2,000 to $0 on the sale of the house because of what it takes to get all that stuff cataloged, chronicled, listed, sold. And so I didn't necessarily say their stuff was worth $0. I think it's actually worse than that because of the time and effort it took to get to $0. Yeah. Right. And you don't, one of those things, again, you don't know that until you go through that pain. And this, all the stories of, well, dad paid $1,800 for that piano. Now what is it worth? These things like all these families have such an emotional time. This stuff can be harder than even the house. Yeah. But we come in as a holistic approach to help with the entirety of that move. And that's why people love working with Mom's House, is because when things are going badly, we're a thing that was like an easy button during that time of moving mom in or dad.
So I just have one thing to say. Where were you when I had to do this for my mom 7 years ago?
I hear that a lot, Steve.
We hear that every day. Every day. Sir. I heard it at lunch today with a senior living professional. It's like, we just dealt with this last week. We needed, where were you?
Yeah.
We spent weeks and weeks and weeks getting the house ready to sell. And I cannot tell you how many trips we actually made so many trips to a Goodwill drop-off that they told us we couldn't come anymore to their drop-off because we'd filled up their container.
It's funny you said that. We're in a market where you can't give the china away anymore. The millennials don't even have a hutch to put it in. That the kids don't want the china, right? It's like that kind of ended, and stuff is a big deal. And we take it as a great honor to buy someone's forever home because we understand that that's where their memories were, the good and bad memories of a life. We have great respect for these families, and I think the investor world can be looked at as a negative, right? There's a lot of people that are bad actors in our space, and the realtor world, that world is changing. I don't know if you know this, but since 2017, billions of dollars have shown up in the real estate agent space to eliminate real estate agents. They're called iBuyers. These things like Open Door and Zillow, you might have heard of. If you pay attention to the news, Zillow just lost $1 billion trying to be a computer to buy a house. And Ben and I, we take great pride in saying that we are the anti-iBuyer. We are not iBuyers. We are in the hugs and kisses business, and we plan to be on the people business and put daughter Judy and that senior first in a time when they really need it. One of our colleagues told us before that he said it was harder for him to move his dad into senior living than it was to bury his father. And I think that's a profound statement, that these people think that they're on an island and they don't know which way to turn. They're looking for good advice. And like you said 7 years ago, you didn't even know what you were getting into. You couldn't even give this stuff away. Goodwill wouldn't even take it. And these families are just like, take care of it. We don't want to do it, especially when you can show them on paper why they're going to net around the same amount anyway. Why would you go through all the trouble if you could get the same amount? No person would do that.